Welcome back to Around the Diamond with guests Fred Valentine, Jimmy Williams, and joining us live and in living color, the founder and director of the Negro League Legends Hall of Fame, Mr. Dwayne Sims.
My pleasure to be around royalty this evening. I tell you, boy, I'm showing off right now.
All right, well, look, let's talk a little bit about the game that's coming up and all those events in August. Yeah. And then we're going to talk some Negro League history.
Right. And what's so interesting is the All-Star game just left the nation's capital. And actually, my Negro League is the All-Star game that was played in 1933, 85 years ago. So this is the 85th anniversary when the Negro Leagues decided, because Major League was doing their All-Star game, they wanted to do their own All-Star because they couldn't, was segregated at the time. But also the Negro League was integrated at the time, so we don't talk about it. We talk about the Puerto Ricans and all the other players, Cuban players come, but Caucasian players from America played in the Negro League. And that's so important to me, to our youth, to know the facts of life, but the thing is, you got to go do your homework. And that's what I did, my homework.
So the Negro Leagues, they did not discriminate.
They did not discriminate. They had every living color right there.
And talk about that All-Star game, since we're talking All-Stars. That was it that first one? It was so huge. I mean,
that was correct.
I think they might have outdrawn the Major League All-Star
Usually
game.
always during that time. We're talking about 1933, they would use Major League stadiums. And the interesting thing about this, I'm celebrating Andrew Rube Foster, who was the founder of Negro League back in 1920. In 1933, Rube Foster's brother played in that first East-West All-Star game in the Negro League. And he was a pitcher. Okay. And prior to that, we were talking about Rube Foster's interesting. Rube Foster, prior to being the co-founder of the National Negro League, he played in the old Colored Professional League. They played All-Star there too. So yeah, this is interesting. So we have a lot of the youth and college graduates and those that play baseball in our local area. We got players from Pomoki down there in Maryland. We have people who are descendants of the Glenarden Braves and the Washington Black Sox. I know Fred knows a little bit about that. He's still a young man. I ain't gonna mess with him on that. He was a youngster back then. And a lot of those players, like, you know, they would have been 90 to 100 some years old. But I think what bothers me most is that we don't know about these things. And this is our backyard. And backyard of the nation's capital, DMV, is where the heart was baseball.
That was the big sport back at that time. And talk a little bit about the events that will be going on.
At the beginning I decided.
And some of the people, special people who will be there.
I thought, why not have an auto car show? You know, it's nothing like having some Corvettes and some Camaros and some Mustangs. You got to mention the Ford group. You know, I'm a Chevy man. You got the imports, and I thought to bring that together so kids could see the diversity, but nothing like having a car show before a baseball game. If you realize, back in the Negro League days, on Saturday night, they went to the jukebox. They hung out with Billie Holiday. If you read the records, the baseball players were there. Sunday morning, they would get up and go to church. And about that 1 o'clock, there they are, filling up that stadium with 30 to 40,000 people. With integrated stadiums they don't talk about. So we'll start off with the car show. And it's for the donations are going back to a charity, which I do. All the tickets, as a matter of fact, they need to call you right now. Get on the phone, get them free tickets. I donate about 5,000 tickets every year to armed forces or youth so they can get that experience. Then around about 1 o'clock, open the gates. We got throwing out the first pitch. Got Fred Valentine here. I'm trying to recruit him already. But I have Virginia Ali from Ben's Chili Bowl, the owner. They're celebrating their 60th year anniversary.
So is she a lefty or a righty?
You know what? I'm not going to give that up. Come and see that. Come and see that. Come and see that. And then my godson, Rayshard Lamar, was on season 14 of The Voice. He's going to be there to throw out the pitch, and we even talking about doing the national anthem, because you know I got to start off. I love my America. And one thing I talk about this Negro League is baseball in American history. Because the Major League Baseball, in the old days, they learned a lot how to steal bases,
not just black
games.
history, it's American
Correct,
history.
It's America's history. And I like to say, because it was integrated. So with that said, I won't be throwing out any pitch, but I think what it is when I see those little kids come in there, they play soccer, they play different sports. I had somebody for the embassy kid said, "Daddy, I want to play baseball." And that's what we need to hear. It is America's game, but it was very structured back in the days of the 30s or 40s. It was economics, which means people sold jerseys. They did the number running, a lot of them, the alcohol. Those are things, part of our history. When we talk about other history, that was part of our history too. That was in our community. So those people who were running the numbers and everything, the thing is, they were always betting on baseball, which they get in trouble for doing now, okay? So it's nothing new about these things. But in America, I think, which is interesting, there's one game that everybody, short, tall, small, doesn't matter. You can play the game if you have the heart for the game.
Who are some of the great players that played in the Negro Leagues that a lot of people don't really know about, or maybe they do know about? Who are some of your favorites?
Go ahead, gentlemen. I'm gonna let y'all take on that one now. Come on.
Well, I'm always thinking about Cool Papa Bell.
Name one of the
He's
best
my
ones.
favorite.
One of the greats.
Yeah.
He helped Ernie Banks and all of them go to Major League. People don't know he mentored them.
Monty Irvin.
Yeah, Monty Irvin.
Monty.
Yeah, been around Monty Irvin, yeah. How about an older guy like Ted Double Duty Radcliffe?
He did a lot of duty.
He pitched and caught at the same time. Caught for Satchel Paige, and I have a picture of him with Josh Gibson at bat, and right behind him there's Ted Double Duty Radcliffe. And he came here to the nation's capital as 102 years old, and we celebrated his birthday here in the nation's capital.
And Cool Papa Bell was actually faster than Fred Valentine, wasn't he?
I'm not going to say that
I
about
don't
Fred
know.
right now.
Fred
I'm trying to get Fred to come out and throw out my
Fred
first
had the leading stolen base percentage one year when he was with the Senators, so I don't know.
And then it's interesting, Paul Casanova was my next door neighbor, the catcher for the Senators back in the day.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
And you know, there were some players that played in the Negro Leagues. There are a lot of people, they know him from the major leagues.
Correct,
They played
correct.
in the Negro Leagues.
Right.
Of course, everybody knows Jackie Robinson
Yeah.
came.
And he played a short time, but Roy Campanella is
Roy
a good example.
Campanella. Then you had Willie Mays
Right,
played
Willie
a year
Mays
or
played a
so,
short
didn't
time.
he?
Yeah.
In the Negro Leagues.
Ernie Banks was one of them. He sure was.
Bob Boyd was there because he ended up with Baltimore, but he was the cause of me signing.
Wow.
Yeah, Bob Boyd.
Wow.
Called him the rope.
Did they? Okay.
Oh yeah.
They had some nicknames.
But that was a time when some of our best athletes were playing baseball.
That's
You know,
correct.
because even with you, Fred, I mean, you were a quarterback in college, playing football at Tennessee State, and then, but you ended up playing Major League Baseball, and a lot of that had to do with there weren't any black quarterbacks in the NFL, probably.
Quarterbacks, centers, and guards. Blacks weren't able to play those positions.
Yeah.
Wow. But you chose to go to baseball, though.
Well, they wanted me to sign up for football, but wanted to make a safety out of me. Just like Willie Woods.
Right, Willie Woods.
So he went up there, and that got him bedridden now by playing up in that cold weather. And he can't get out. He can't get out the pit. But anyway, that was history. And you brought up a lot of good things in reference to the Negro League. And of course, I was raised in Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis Red Sox.
Red Sox.
Yeah.
I saw them all come through there.
Viewers, that is a Negro League team.
Exactly
Memphis
right.
Red Sox.
Eugene Williams played for the I brought him here to the nation's capital, played for the Memphis Red Sox.
Is that right?
Out of Tennessee.
Yes,
Had
sir.
the New York, they had the Black Yankees.
The Black Yankees.
Washington Black Sox, which was a Negro League sandlot team, right here in the nation's capital.
Tell me about the Indianapolis Clowns. Was that a team or just like a Harlem Globetrotter team of baseball? Because that's what I got to see.
17 who owned the Harlem Globetrotters owned the Indianapolis Clowns.
Okay.
But let me go prior to that. I had Meadowlark Lemon here as a guest. He had visited the nation's capital before he
We only got
passed.
about 20 seconds.
And very shortly, the Harlem Globetrotters at that time had a Negro League baseball team anyway, and people don't talk about it. So check on the website and give him a call.
Yeah.
That's my
Now,
10 seconds. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so people should come out at 1 o'clock for the game, and before that,
10 a.m. for the car show.
and that's at Bowie Bay Sox
Prince George's Stadium, home of the Bowie Bay
Give us
Sox.
the date again.
It's going to be August 18th on a sunny Saturday morning.
That's right.
And I'll be there waiting at the gate to greet everybody.
All right, it's going to be a good time, a lot of fun. We are out of time now. Thanks, Dwayne, for being
Thank
here.
you. Loved always being around.
And thanks to Fred Valentine and Jimmy Williams.
Thank you.
This is just like a reunion.
I know that's
like I
right.
told
We got to
you.
do this again.
I agree. We should do
I'm
it.
Marv Jackson. See you next time around the diamond. Take care, everybody.
Have a blessed day.